and let you know that we are grateful to all of you for coming out to support your cadet. If you would, please stand with me for the procession of Class 101-23.
Take seats.
Please be seated. We will now have the invocation by our Director of Community Engagement, Thomas Hunter.
Let us pray. Dear God, thank you for bringing us out here this evening. Thank you for giving us this chance to honor these men and women who is now becoming a part of the DCSO family. Lord, we know that you know they're lying down and they're getting up. You know every inch of them. You know everything about them. We pray that you be with them as they matriculate through this system, matriculate into
And I'm the supervisor of PreService, and I've had the pleasure of getting to know and train your loved ones for the past 8 weeks. And when I say it's been quite a ride, I mean it. We will now have remarks from our class representative, Sheila Nichols.
Class, stay.
As a law enforcement agency committed to public safety, we strive to be the leader in the field of corrections, service of civil process, and innovative community-based programs, emphasizing accountability, diversity, integrity, and professionalism.
Class, take seat.
Permission to do some push-ups? Okay, I was going to be all formal, but hopefully everyone's doing well today. Good afternoon. I am Cadet Nichols, and on behalf of my fellow cadets, I would like to welcome all the families and friends who have traveled from near and far for this very special occasion. We appreciate you all being here today to witness our graduation from the Davidson County Sheriff's Office Academy. It has been a challenging and rewarding 8 weeks. Class 101-23 would like to thank Sheriff Darren Hall, his chiefs, and Human Resources for allowing us the opportunity and the privilege to be a part of a top-notch agency. Class 101-23 would also like to extend a special thank you to the DCSO World Class Training Division. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing so that we may recognize you for your hard work and endless dedication in helping us succeed in the Academy. Director Heath Kane, unfortunately, I don't believe he's able to be with us today, but we thank him very, very much. Assistant Director Coach Johnson, if you're here. Pre-Service Supervisor Christy Cole. Instructor Paul Miller. Instructor Percy Folks. Instructor Solomon Holly. Mr. Britt Manor, and Administrative Assistant Kelly Payne. And if there are any adjunct instructors in the audience, would please ask them to stand as well so we can recognize you. And also, if Mr. Riggi is here, if you could please stand. We are very grateful for your stellar leadership, your wealth of knowledge, your constant guidance, and your never-ending patience. Can we please give them a huge round of applause? These are some great people here. But one last thing before you take your seats. I believe my class will agree with me. We want to share some of the love. And we think you all could use a little personal growth. So if you could drop and give us 10, that'd be great. All right. I know, Britt Manor, let's go. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate that. I've just been dying to say that. And thank you all for laughing. Of course, I was kidding. But you see, since day one, the instructors have bestowed upon us personal growth, which by now you've probably figured out is code for push-ups. As a class, we have experienced some personal growth together as a team. I have instilled physical fitness in both of my sons. When they were growing up, one of my favorite questions to ask them was, "You want to know how to do more push-ups?" And they would look at me with disdain as I answered, "You do more push-ups." I'm a firm believer in that one can never experience too much personal growth. In the past 2 months, we have learned a vast amount of DCSO policies, standard operating procedures, subject control, and by the way, Coach Johnson would have you know that that's the most important class. And we had a hell of a lot of fun, I'm sorry. It was very good training. In addition, we have secured several hours of on-the-job training in the jails. We have completed the Academy's Physical Efficiency Battery, which tested our abilities on the mile run, 1 minute of push-ups, 1 minute of sit-ups, a 1-rep max bench press, and a sit and reach flexibility assessment. I believe it is important as correctional officers that we gain and retain mental fortitude and physical endurance. So hey team, let's keep training our minds and our bodies so that we can be the best deputies we can be for this agency. I would be remiss if I did not talk about chemical weapons training. It was certainly a day to remember. I don't believe any of my fellow cadets will ever forget February 10th, 2023, for it was this day that our fearless leader, Ms. Christy Cole, thought it would be a champion idea to have us endure mental and physical activities all day long. We started the day at 07:30 by taking our final written exam. We took a total of 5 written exams throughout the academy, so it was a relief to have this part complete. After the written exam, we moved from the classroom to the mat room and the fitness center, where we began the PEB, which is the Physical Efficiency Battery. We were tested on push-ups, sit-ups, bench press, and flexibility. After these sweat-filled activities, we caravanned to a local park to perform our mile run. Man, was it a beautiful day. It was gorgeous out, and it felt great to be outside. But the air was thick with anticipation of what was next on the agenda: the chemical weapons test. Once the run was complete, we all piled into our vehicles and headed back to the sheriff's headquarters, where we broke for lunch and mentally prepared for the ever so dreaded Freeze plus P spray to the face. For those of you who are not familiar with Freeze plus P, it is a chemical weapon that provides officers with a tactical advantage during a response to subject behavior. Freeze plus P has both psychological and physical incapacitations. Freeze plus P is comprised of 2 chemical agents: 1% OC, which stands for oleoresin capsicum, and, wait for it, 1% CS, which stands for, bear with me here, orthochlorobenzylmelanonitrile. Miss Cole said it much more eloquently. But let me spell that for you. Oh no. orthochlorobenzylmelanonitrile. Yeah, that's how you spell it. That's quite possibly the longest word I have ever come across so far in my 58 years of living. It is exactly 31 letters long. And I believe I speak for the whole class when I say that we were damn lucky, sorry again, that this was a multiple choice answer instead of a fill in the blank answer on the test. Yeah, very fortunate that we didn't have to spell that. So to wrap up that action-packed day that was orchestrated by Instructor Cole, we all got to experience the inflammatory and irritating effects of Freeze plus P. Our beloved instructors made us stand one by one with our eyes closed and our right hand raised. When ready, the cadet on deck dropped their hand to signal the readiness, and then the instructor sprayed the cadet's face in a Z formation, across the eyes, down the nose, and across the mouth. After the spray was deployed, the cadet had to recite the mission statement and then drop to the ground and perform 10 push-ups. After completing this set of personal growth, the cadet was escorted to the recovery station where they relished in the pain of the lingering effects of the chemicals dripping from their face. Once the cadet could prove that they could keep their eyes open for 5 seconds, baby shampoo and water were supplied, along with moral support from the recovery crew. It was pretty brutal, but I must say that it was an amazing thing to see, once I regained my eyesight, how we all came together as a team and helped each other through this extremely uncomfortable evolution. So this brings us to today, and once we take the oath and become deputized, we will begin our shifts, some of us as soon as tomorrow, in the jails, performing our duties as correctional officers. Our duties include keeping the inmate safe, our fellow officers safe, the facility safe, and the public safe. As officers, we must be fair, firm, and consistent. But there is one other thing that I believe we should do every day, and that is to show compassion. When Sheriff Hall addressed Class 101-23 on our third day at the academy, something he said has resonated with me. Something he said continued to resonate with me ever since he so eloquently spoke with us that day. And I'm paraphrasing here, but what I understood him to say is that it should be a goal, or a mission, if you will, to help the inmate become a better person for when they leave the jail as compared to when they came to jail. And we can do this by making sure they get to court and we get them there on time. We can do this by making sure they go to class and or their designated programs every day. We do this by waking them up to make sure that they can attend their med call. And all of these things combined could possibly help to instill good habits and have a positive effect when they get released back into society. One of my favorite quotes is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He once said, "Passion is one of the most powerful engines of success. When you do a thing, do it with all your might. Put your whole soul into it. Stamp it with your own personality. Be active, be energetic and faithful, and you will accomplish your objective. Nothing great was ever achieved without passion." So, as I close, my fellow cadets, as we begin our new journey as deputy COs, I challenge each of you, as I will challenge myself, to start every shift with a positive attitude and with pride. I truly believe these two qualities will get you through the tough times. And we all know there will be those days and those nights that will test you to your very core. Be your true self every day. Be the sheriff of your pod by being fair, firm, and consistent. Be positive-minded, and you will persevere. Be passionate about your job, and you will excel. Have compassion for people, and you will make a difference. I have gained a family almost done. Ooh, I thought I could prevent that. I have gained a family in the Davidson County Sheriff's Office, and for this I'm very grateful. I consider you all my brothers and my sisters, and please know, I will always have your back. Thank you.
Thank you, Cadet Nichols. That was great. Now, I would like to introduce you our very own Sheriff Darren Hall.
Wow. I've done a bunch of these, but I don't know if I've followed very many of them. You know what was the coolest part? How proud you were when she came up here. You kind of knew what you were going to get. We didn't. How proud you were of her. How proud she is of you. And I think, I'm a little weird about this, I think she's been sitting in the back of these graduations a whole bunch of times because she said a lot of really cool things that I used to say. She even did what I'm up here to do. Now I'm sitting there going, I was going to introduce training, why do that? I was going to brag about passion, why do that? Wow, I could sit there, that was fantastic. And you did it as well. But I want to thank the family members, the loved ones that are here. It means a lot to them, and it should. They have worked hard, they deserve it. We're going to celebrate, that's what we're here to do. Very few times in our lives do we start and end something with an accomplishment that is so succinct. So many tests and so many scores and so many things and so many days. So they deserve to be celebrated, and I'm so happy to see this place full of people who are here to celebrate with you. There's even a few surprise guests, I understand, who've flown in from places around the country that you didn't even know were coming. I think it's really, really important. It's exciting for you to see and to clap and cheer, and you can do that throughout this whole thing. This is not, the building we're in, it doesn't prevent us from having fun. And the word family is used. Mr. Hunter said it in his prayer, and it's something we use a lot around here. Ms. Nichols mentioned it. We consider ourselves this big family, and you're now joining our family. Those of you who are in uniform and those of you who are here in support of them. And we need you here today. They need you here today, and we're going to clap and cheer and walk out of here. But as was also mentioned, there are going to be some tough days, tough nights. I don't care what you do for a living, that's what we are as people. Survivalist, get on to the next, learn your lessons and move on. It's a tough line of work, there's no secret about that. We can't teach you every emotion, every mood that's going to happen for all of us. But on the snowy night, cold attitude, bad thing happens, traffic made you mad, and they pull in the driveway or come through the house, come through the door, just hope you'll pat them on the back that night. I hope you'll encourage them to get up and go again. And then when you arrive at work, you guys and the folks who are out on the walks need to reach out and appreciate the people who are next to you, because we need you here. We need you to feel wanted here. And oftentimes when you're spending as much time as you do with us, when you get home, I want you to download that, but also have some help and some support. And being here today is one step in that, and I just hope you'll stick with us as we go forward. It's a big family. a whole lot of folks who have spent the majority of their lifetime working here. And although today may feel like day one, many of us have spent hundreds of days, thousands of days. And so your family that you're joining is here as well to stand here and celebrate with you as you accomplish this graduation. So if the members of the Sheriff's Office family, would you please rise? Let's give them a round of applause if you don't mind for being here. Thank you. They need you. They need you really badly. We need the quality people that you are. I told you on the first day, there's 3 words that mean a lot to me in this line of work. Running this organization, there's 3 pillars we try to do: recruit, train, retain. We have recruited the best people. You're it. Nobody has what we have right now sitting right there. Nobody. You were chosen from hundreds of people, and nobody is better. Nobody is more ready to go do this work. You have been recruited by our HR division, who, as was mentioned, every one of these things are now getting rehashed, aren't they? Miss Nichols has already done all this, I know. She stole my thing. I wrote it down and she stole it. But the recruitment of you started months and months and months ago. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort to get the best people there is to come to work here. So Mr. Evan Bayless is out of town with his mother today, but anyone else in our HR staff, would you please stand? Have anyone else here? We've got Brett Maynor and Regina DeRiggi, who has already been mentioned, amazingly. Everyone's already been introduced. But it's really important to go after the best people. And unfortunately, some of your colleagues didn't make it. You know what? They're not bad people. I wish them luck. I want it to work. I hope they come back. Some of you have come back here. But I want you to feel proud about what you did. You've been recruited by and are the best people. You have been now trained by the best people there are doing this work. They've already been introduced, I know. But you should feel proud about that. Chief Wilkes and others travel around the country. I know what's out there offering training in other places in this country, and nowhere is training better than here. So we recruit the best, we train the best, and many, many days ago we sit down in front of you and I said there are some other people whose job it is to keep you here, to retain you. We sat in front of you, if you remember, in chairs, and we kind of made fun of each other about how human we are, because it's okay to be human. So the chiefs in our organization, whose responsibility it is to keep you here, are here with us this afternoon. I'd like to stand up Mr. Tony Wilkes, our Chief of Corrections. Miss Carla West, who's our Chief of Staff. Mr. John Hudson, who is our Chief of Administration. And Mr. John Ford, who is our Chief Deputy. And we all have dogs. We're pretty diverse, but we all have dogs. So you guys have been hearing about what all they've been going through, I'm sure, for weeks. We hear about it, we see it, we feel it. And I'm not saying Miss Nichols didn't get this exactly right, but just in case she didn't get it right, several years ago we started trying to capture and see what really did happen along the way. And then when we get in a room like this with your loved ones and family, we can now see if what y'all told everybody was really what really happened. So Miss Nichols, who said it all, I'll let y'all decide how accurate she was. Let's take a look on the video. welcome you to the Davidson County Sheriff's Office. We are extremely proud of this organization. We're also really proud of you.
Personal appearance is important. It's how you present yourself to people. Inmates are people.
I want to challenge you to all be here in 8 weeks when we graduate and take off in the official capacity. So we're gonna work really hard to do that.
You have to be able to stand your ground and say, this is how we're going to do this. Talk them down. Don't let them escalate.
And I look forward to seeing you as we go forward, okay? You have a great rest of the day.
Aren't you supposed to be in class?
Say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming now. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere. I wanna hold your hand. I
Y'all look really good today. And we'll let your family decide how accurate Miss Nichols was on. Yeah, that's really. I want to thank our communications staff for putting all that together: the music, the fun, John Adams and Reggie. And by the way, that's available. You'll be able to pull it up, and all your loved ones can make fun of you when you leave here too. So that's really great. It's great to be able to look back. I'm sure all of those days and memories are deep and very, I don't know, reminiscent of where you were and what you were thinking and what you were going to go through and the anxiety of this day. So you've been taught a whole bunch, you've been tested, you've been, I guess, in every way possible. We've tried to push you along the way. A lot of policies, a lot of rules to remember. There are two words that I really want to just kind of leave with you that are really important to me. And you'd be shocked if I told you Miss Nichols has already used them a couple times, but one of them is pride and one of them is your attitude. I have a son who's a junior in college today, and so when he was about 5 years old, he started to play football. And so the word attitude for me had always been kind of this word. I didn't really know how to define it. It's kind of how you feel and how you act and how do you deal with things when it doesn't go your way. That's kind of the way I thought of it. And I probably haven't always had the best attitude, if I'm honest with you. And I look back and I've had moments in my life where I surely didn't handle things right. My attitude got in the way. I'll tell you a story about attitude that I hope you'll just put in your pocket and run down the road, because you're going to have days when things look bad, feel bad. It's not the way we were taught, or I didn't know it was going to be this long of a shift or whatever. But my 5 or 6 year old taught me something on this day. It was a Saturday. He had been playing for the first year ever Little League football, and if you've had family or kids or anyone do that, it's really just a bunch of kids bumping into each other. But at that age, but you buy all the pads and you go to practice and you take them and you get out there and you cheer and you hope and you think it's a sport. And at 100 degrees and doing that and paying all the money and the time and anxious to watch this, we had 3 games by this Saturday that I was on, and many, many hours of sweat. And so my son, the game's wrapping up, and I was, attitude-wise, I was done because we hadn't won a game. Now, there'd only been 3 of them, but that's a lot when you don't like to lose. But not only did we not win a game, we haven't scored a point. And just for the record, the other team scored a lot of points. And so as a dad with a bad attitude, and by the way, one more thing, if you know football, we hadn't had a first down. That means we hadn't gone from me to you in 3 weeks and a bunch of hours. And so my attitude was not good. And as a person looking at things, I wanted to fix it, and I was frustrated. And as a human being, I just thought we should all feel the same about how bad this was, and we're going to fix it. So my 6-year-old son is in the back seat. We're pulling out of the parking lot, and I turned, his name is Weston, and I said, "Weston, how you feel?" "Great, Dad." And that's not really a good response to me. I don't want you to feel great. I said, "What do you mean, great?" I said, "We haven't won a game. We haven't scored a point. We haven't had a first down." And just as like it had come right out of his pores, he looked at me and he said, "Dad, we were going to come back if the clock hadn't run out on us." And to me, it reshaped my whole thing. He had belief it was going to get better. I didn't want to take him to practice. I didn't want to go through this anymore, but in his mind, right now is the worst part. It's going to get better. And as a dad, I learned a little bit. Things are going to look bad. There's going to be things that are going to happen, shifts, and we're going to hold you over tomorrow, and you miss something you wanted to go do, and golly, my partner frustrates me, and Things may not be great at home. And I hope you'll try. Try to find what this little 6-year-old kid was finding. So it's going to get brighter. The attitude that he had about a really bad situation, and I'm a grown person and I had a bad attitude, really teaches me a lot. I need to do better. So I hope you'll find a way to keep a positive attitude. It's really important. The environment you're going to work in is not all positive. You know that. We've never had anyone ever call and say, thank you for keeping my son or daughter last night. We're not going to get appreciated for the tough work that you do. And most people in most jobs, the appreciation can come from the public or the customer. So it's tough to find positive if you don't have it in you. So I hope you'll look for it. Be my son, don't be me. Find some good in what's coming. My favorite word of all is pride. It's my favorite song. And it can get you in trouble too. But I want you to understand, if you could stand here and watch you walk down here, you look amazing. I mean, you walk with pride, you turned with pride, it's super. You sat down with pride, stood up with pride, you clapped with pride. It's all over you. You should be proud. Don't ever apologize for what you do, ever. Stick your chest out, raise your chin, and be proud of what you do, who you are. Most people could never do it. I want you to keep your pride. Sometimes when you let your pride down and feel not as well about yourself as when you're vulnerable to making bad decisions. Right now, you're not going to make a bad decision. There is a ton of pride. And I don't mean just us. We're all proud of you. It's oozing out of you. And on that rainy day here in a few months or years, I want you to find the pride. Pull the video out. Watch you. Pull your picture up. Not everybody could do what you've just done. So don't ever lower your self-esteem, your pride, or your attitude. It's really important. Very, very proud of you. Everybody in here is. Congratulations.
It is now time for the presentation of certificates.
Class, stand. Left, face. Fall out.
Keisha Allen. Keyjohn Allen. Brian Burns. Mitchell Buttry. Jason Covington. Zipporah Dowdy. Justin Fowler. Dustin Franking. Nathan Frinsley. James Goldstein. Gabriel Gracia. Gabrielle Hammonds. Sixto Herrera. Devontae Jackson. David Johnson. Mercedes Joseph. Ashley Menchaca. Nicholas Neve. Sheila Nichols. Wendy Rains. Denzel Roberts. Anthony Rodriguez. Ashley Smith. Montrell Spence. Keontae Steele. I get it? Justin Summers. Erica Theus. Kyle Zone. Chief Ford, if you'll please come forward. We want to recognize some of our cadets for their military service. Mitchell Buttry, United States Army. Dustin Franking, United States Air Force. James Goldstein, United States Army. David Johnson, United States Army. Nicholas Neve, United States Army National Guard. All right, I'm going to get to some awards in a moment, but I want to say that there's a lot of focus on us training the cadets, but they've taught me a lot of things along the way. And I just wanted to share a few of those with you. Ashley Smith taught me that sometimes you just click with somebody from the first day, so you're very comfortable roasting one another. She also taught me that it is in fact possible to talk for 8 weeks straight. Key John Allen taught me how to make a TikTok. And he also showed me how to use a bunch of the functions on my phone that I didn't know were there. Gabrielle Hammonds and Wendy Raines taught me that a good attitude and a kind smile will always open doors. Anthony Rodriguez taught me that there are an infinite amount of questions on most topics. Justin Summers taught me that you can hide a sarcastic wit for 1 week, 2 tops. And Sheila Nichols taught me that greatness knows no age. Just so you know, I have one for every one of you at home, if you want to know what it is. I had to narrow it down. Before I get to the presentation of the Honor Graduate Award, I want to take a moment to tell you what makes Class 101-23 so extraordinary. I'm going to ask some cadets to stand. Wendy Raines, Sheila Nichols, Denzel Roberts, Sixto Herrera, and Justin Summers. These cadets all earned higher than a 95% test average, with Raines, it's a big deal, with Raines scoring an impressive 98.4 test average. So you imagine we did 5 tests, that's 250 questions, she missed 4. All right, I'm going to ask a few more cadets to stand. Justin Summers, Sheila Nichols, Sixto Herrera, and Keyjohn Allen. These 4 cadets all scored a 92% or higher on that PEB Miss Nichols was talking about earlier. What makes them so special is that the 4 of them, when I did the test averages this time around, or when we did their overall average for honor grad, I was like, man, those scores are so high. So I look back, and in the past year and a half, they could have beaten any honor graduate that we've had. Stay right there. So to put that in perspective, you imagine that we've graduated around 150 in the past year and a half, and these would be the absolute top 4. All right, on to the honor graduate. I cannot remember a time when we had a race this close. The first and second place were split by 0.1%. The Honor Graduate Award for Class 101-23 goes to Justin Summers. think it's time for the sheriff to swear you guys in.
Flag. Stand.
We'll do something official in 1 minute. How about Christy Cole today? Yeah? Not only is she a rock star in the classroom and helping you, but just a few hours ago or so, we were thrusting her into following Miss Nichols and everything else. And so I think the women took charge today. Miss Nichols and Miss Cole deserve a huge round of applause. So if you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear. That I will perform with fidelity. The duties of the office. To which I have been selected. And for which I am about to assume. I do solemnly swear. To support the constitutions. Of Tennessee and the United States. And to faithfully perform. The duties of Deputy Sheriff for Davidson County, Tennessee. Congratulations. Welcome to the Sheriff's Office.
Take a seat.
At this time, I'd like to ask all current DCSO employees to exit the auditorium. In a moment, we will have our closing prayer, but I would like to ask that each of you, friends and family, stay for the changing of the guard. I would also like to point out that there's a QR code that's going to go up on the screen that will direct you to pictures and video of today's events. It should be ready sometime in the next day or two. Cadets, I will send you a link to the graduation video in our app, and that will be reported on to your families. If you guys would, please make sure that you like our social media pages so that you get updates on any future events. Mr. Harmon, will you lead us in prayer?
I want you to know that when you go into your facility, there are chaplains in those facilities, and you are definitely welcome whenever you need to talk to somebody. You can reach out to them in those chaplains. Let us pray. Lord, thank you again for this moment. Thank you again for bestowing this honor upon these men and women who are now part of this DCSO family. Bless them in a mighty way. Bless their families. Give them the courage and strength that they need to make it through each and every day. Now may the grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for the love of God and the sweet communion of His Holy Spirit, may He rest, rule, and abide with us all and forevermore. Let every heart say, Amen. Amen.
Chief Will, you please come forward. I forgot it wasn't working, so I grabbed it and was able to get there. To our new officers, I am so excited for you and proud of you. I appreciate how hard all of you have worked, and I know you're going to do great things. We're lucky to have you.
Class. Stand.